This is the Transformers Generations Power of the Primes Deluxe Class Gar. Okay, in the US, I believe this figure is a Walgreens exclusive, but over here in Manila, we don't have Walgreens. Hooray! And I picked up this figure at our Toys down at Green Hills, and it's a sort of an update on our Gar that we've received that we got in Generations, and this is mainly going to be a comparison video because essentially the figure is a redeco, repaint slash re-engineering redeco of this figure, which is Groove. And this is the Unite Warriors Groove, and as you can see, the body is essentially the same, and they just gave him the weapon and a new head sculpt. So we'll do that. Also, we're going to see how he fares with the original Generations Gar. I don't have the Hasbro version. What I do have is the Takara Tomy version, the Transformers United Gar, and Gar in the metallic paint finish. And finally, after all these years of this one rotting in my cabinet, I am going to open him up and finally show him off to you. So let's get right to it. All right, and here they are in robot mode. You can see it's the exact same mold, and they just changed the head sculpt. Head sculpt looks a little bit too small for the figure, considering the fact that they've made this one just proportionately big enough for the body. This one just looks a little bit too small. I don't know why. I honestly think there's enough clearance in that whole assembly to make it this big, but they didn't. And yeah. Okay, he comes with the exact same accessory that came with the old Reveal the Shield Generations Gar. And because he's not really a Power of the Primes figure, he's a Combiner Wars figure, there is no way to attach this body armor anywhere except to use it as a shield, or maybe like that, as a shield. And then the card, this particular version has Solus Gar. So what does he do? Forges improvisational weapons from the junk that covers this planet. Makes sense. Solus Prime would be there because he does make weapons. They do repair. The Junkions, they do a lot of repair stuff. So like what they did with Ultra Magnus. So makes sense. Articulation of the figure is exactly going to be like this one. Paint apps. I think the paint apps, it's Junkion, orange and red and gray and brown. I think they nailed it with the paint apps with red. I think this is true to the colors of the Junkions. And the orange plastic that they used is much, again, like that Universe Sideswipe. It's got a little bit of flake, sort of like a nice sheen finish to it. I like it. I'm liking the quality of the plastic on this one. Paint apps, everything's great in robot mode, except for the head. But when you put them side by side with Groove, you really know that the mold was meant to be Groove and not Gar. Okay, he also comes with a nice set of instructions. I'll talk about that. Now, with regard the previously released Gar, some people are big fans of it. I personally am. I love this particular Gar, especially the ones that came with the 3-pack with Rodimus or Hot Rod, with Junk Heap. Those are great figures, and you can army build them. But with this one, I don't know. Comparing the two figures, the silhouette, sculpt-wise, I think this looks more like a Junkion than him. Had they used the colors of this one on this, maybe this would have been a perfect Junkion. But as it is, head sculpt-wise, silhouette, and detail, articulation, I think this is still your definitive Gar or Junkion. And this one's great. It's probably going to be a nice substitute if you can't hunt down the 3-pack, it's impossible to find the Reveal the Shield versions or even the Takara Tomy version, and you don't want to pay that much for it. I think this is a worthy substitute. I think it's fine. It's just that I think this thing is still the more accurate one for some reason. I don't know. That's just me. Okay. So yeah, so let's transform Power of the Prime's Gar into his motorcycle mode. Get rid of the weapons here, and this one folds like this, just like the Generations toy. And this will clip right there. Oh, just fold it like that, and it will clip on the handlebars later. This one will fit on the seat, which we'll do that in a while. Okay, so it transforms exactly like Groove. Not rocket science there or anything. So if you're very familiar with the Groove transformation, this will be easy. Okay. Fold. Oh, it's tight. No mold degradation right there. Thank you very much. As I was saying, no mold degradation right there. Okay. Tab it in here like that. All right, you're good to go. Rotate, a little bit loose on the waist joint compared to Groove. Okay, and just like Combiner Wars transformation, open this up, and fold it all the way like that. Make sure the joints are nice and flush. Okay, all right, then tab the legs together. Okay, wheels. Oh, it's a little bit loose on my copy. A little bit loose. That's fine. Fine, not a problem, because they're gonna tab in together and you're not gonna notice it. Okay, all right. And kickstand. Like I mentioned earlier, this one tabs right here. There. It's weird, I know. That's what the instructions say. I kid you not. That's, yeah. And then this one, the instructions say to plug it this way. So I'm not entirely sure why you want it this way. So, okay, this is not, yeah, okay. Wow, really, Hasbro, very nice. It's a little bit forced, so I think we should just, this one should just stay right here. That. Okay. All right, that's as good as it. This one looks nice on the side, like a saddlebag. I think that's where it should be. Here is Groove, and here is the Transformers United Gar, the old Generations one. I think this is still, even in alt mode, I think this is still more accurate than this one. This was a little bit futuristic, kind of might fit the War for Cybertron Siege line. I don't know, but yeah, Groove's okay, but for Gar, this should be the one. Okay, so the instructions say you can combine Gar with the Inferno torso together with some Terracons. But you know, you can combine him with any Combiner Wars torso if you wish. And because he's been given an arm, because he's a Power of the Prime, you can combine him as an arm. And here is the arm mode. Obviously, you can turn him into a leg mode, much like how Groove was for Defensor. But then you'll need that foot accessory that came with the Power of the Prime's torso. And you attach this one at the back of the heel of that combined mode. And this is the arm mode. Nothing to it. Very basic Combiner Wars type of limb mode. So, final thoughts on the figure. It looks great with the old figure. You're gonna army build this one, and you already have the old ones. They'll mixed well together, and they can army build well enough, I think. Like I said, the first version, the Reveal the Shield Generations, Gar and Junk Heap are still, I think, the more definitive versions of the character. But this one, the new one, the Power of the Primes version, which is the Groove Redeco, is not a bad substitute. It'll work as Rekgar, and like I said, it goes well with the older figures. I'm gonna give the figure a 9 out of 10. I think despite being a repaint, I think it does its job. I just wish that they've made the head sculpt much bigger. Maybe I don't know, maybe they could have given him extra weapons. But as it is, it's a decent Rekgar figure, better than the that other Groove repaint, the Legends Rekgar that came in Titan's Return. So this has been the Transformers Generations Power of the Primes Deluxe Class Rekgar. Thanks for watching.